Chapter 17, Large Fireball Cleanup. Mike arrived at the bottom of the mountain, and because he took the initiative to attack, he had been discovered by countless exotic beasts in berserk state. Exotic Beast, Elite. Overview, Melee Physical, Long-Ranged Magic. Level 23. HP, 4,800/4,800. Attack, 350/350. Dual Defense, 280/280, 230/230. Agility, 70/70. Skills, Venom, Supreme, Berserk Claw, Advanced, Bite, Advanced, Sprint, Advance. Status, Berserk. This is an elite tier exotic beast in a berserk state. It spits venom from a distance. Threat, low. Elite tier exotic beasts were always followed by many ordinary exotic beasts. When they discovered Mike, they all went from being berserk to furious. Instantly, streams of venom and a group of barbed tentacles came charging over. Although the threat wasn't high, getting hit for no reason might still be disastrous. Mike immediately reacted. Large Fireball. Mike finally had a chance to truly use this skill. Previously, he had only used it to fight one or two exotic beasts, but now, he could kill a group of them instantly. With Mike as the center point, a wave of fireballs flew out. Boom! Fireballs ignited from all sides, forming a wall of fire, and many exotic beasts were caught in the sea of fire. 1,205. 1,167. 1,522. 924. The large fireball spell caused a bunch of exotic beasts to fall onto the ground on the spot. Rewards such as experience, silver coins, and materials kept coming. Mike was not paying attention to the sea of fire. Wisps of green smoke dissipated, which were all the burnt venom. The elite exotic beasts struggled in the fire, but they weren't dead. Soon enough, they fell to the ground. However, this was only the beginning. After killing one elite tier exotic beast, more elite tier exotic beasts discovered the situation. They surrounded him from all directions in a vast and mighty manner that could make scalps go numb. Mike continued to cast the large fireball spell. No matter how many exotic beasts of this level came, it would be useless. They were all at the level where the large fireball spell could wipe them out instantly. Boom! Exotic beasts just came group after group continuously, and they all succumbed to the wall of fire. The entire scene was extremely spectacular. Fireballs were shot and extinguished all around Mike, and one after another they reappeared again. It was as if Mike was the Grim Reaper. Wherever they went, the exotic beasts were crushed like washed-up dust on the ground. 1896. 1,562. 1,426. 1,602. Mike used both the fireball and the large fireball spell, and the experience points for the two skills kept shooting up. It was only a matter of time before he would level up. Then, the highlight of the battle happened, and more than a dozen elite tier exotic beasts had suddenly appeared in a certain direction. Normally, they wouldn't move together unless there were stronger exotic beasts gathered around them. Exotic Beast, Elite. Overview, Melee Physical, Long-Ranged Control, Burst. Level 30. HP, 9,500/9,500. Attack, 650/650. Dual Defense, 400/400, 400/400. Agility, 120/120. Skills, Entanglement, Supreme, Roar, Supreme, Berserk Claw, Advanced, Bite, Advanced, Sprint, Advance. Status, Berserk. This is an elite tier exotic beast in a berserk state. It can use its strength to form tentacles to bind its enemies from afar. Roar will increase its own strength and cause the enemy's status to drop. Threat above average. Hint, killing this exotic beast will drop level 30 gold tier equipment. It led over a dozen elite tier exotic beasts in an imposing manner. Although they were elite, they were already comparable to level 20 bosses. Mike was very excited that they would drop level 30 gold tier equipment. He was still wearing a full set of level 10 equipment. He did not have the time to forge anything else yet, but it seems that whatever he lacked was being delivered to him. He cast a fireball spell to begin. Because of the long distance, the exotic beasts had a lot of time to react. It dodged the fireball spell and ran over. Mike let the fireball spell spread across the ground like a sea of flames. 402. 522. 346. A black shadow suddenly emerged from the wall of fire. Mike's eyes widened slightly and he cast the flash spell. Then, a deep pit appeared at the place where he was originally standing. A level 30 elite exotic beast was on a completely different level. Because it failed, the beast roared angrily and its aura spiked. Mike felt a little dizzy from it. However, by using the purification spell, he could also handle it. Not only can purification cleanse foreign objects, it could also purify his negative status. Tentacles shot up from under Mike's feet, which were full of barbs and poison. Mike used the fireball spell to burn them. 924. 1067. 991. The long-ranged tentacles were of little threat. The fireball and large fireball spell continued to be used in turn, and occasionally flash was used to avoid the threat that came towards him. The only thing that could be seen here was raging fire and how the temperature spiked like crazy. Hint, the exotic beast has weakened and 3 fatal points have appeared. He suddenly saw a hidden message. Actually, Mike could smother this beast to death. But since it had a weakness, it would be a waste not to use it. Mike found an opportunity to use the fireball spell. 3012. And then, ignite followed it. 1203. 884. 912. It dealt almost double the damage. The reward for attacking a weak spot was huge, and Mike cast another fireball. The level 30 elite exotic beast was on the verge of collapse. Its HP was almost fully depleted after Ignite had been applied to it. Then, it swayed and fell to the ground with a thump. Obtained 30,221 EXP. Obtained 102 gold coins. Obtained materials. Obtained level 30 gold staff. Something dropped. And it was a staff. Mike really liked things that increased damage. Level 30 gold staff. Magic attack plus 500. Magic penetration plus 200. Magic critical hit rate plus 1%. Magic critical hit effect plus 5%. Skill damage plus 15%. His attributes increased dramatically, and needless to say, his attack power was even higher. It was a huge gain, and he could even armor break. What did that mean? That would be equivalent to lowering the opponent's defense by 200 points, which also increased his critical strike by 1%. Previously, Mike did not have the critical strike attribute. Now that it was added, it meant that he had an additional variable. The critical strike damage was 200%, and his critical strike effect had increased by 5%. This meant that his skill damage had increased by 15%. Such a godly piece of equipment. It was definitely worthy of being called godly equipment. Once these combined sets of skills were used, the damage numbers displayed would be unimaginable. It was evident that Mike's combat power had increased from 5,200 to 8,100. A single piece of equipment had increased his combat power by nearly 3,000. I'm climbing higher and higher. As I said before, who else is there? Mike held the gold-tier godly equipment in his hand, feeling pretty good about everything. Then, it just so happened that an elite-tier exotic beast came looking for its own death. A fireball was cast. 5,109. This exotic beast only had 5,000 health points, so it was instant death. Previously, Mike's damage had been around 2,000, now it had more than doubled. Exotic Beast, Boss. Overview, Long-ranged Physical, Long-ranged Magic, Recovery. Level, 25. HP, 10,500/10,500. Attack, 700/700. Dual Defense, 500/500, 500/500. Agility, 150/150. Skills, Claw Pierce, Bronze, Poison Rain, Supreme, Regeneration, Supreme, Berserk Claw, Supreme, Bite, Supreme, Sprint, Supreme. Status, Berserk. This is a boss-tier exotic beast. It can extend its sharp claws to hurt people from afar and can also release poisonous rain. At the same time, it has an extremely strong regeneration ability. Threat, low level. Hint, after killing this boss, it can drop skills. It was stronger than a level 30 elite exotic beast. It could also drop skills. Had Mike finally reached the moment he was thinking about? Mike cast his fireball with anticipation. 4,161. Ignite. 1,502. 1,702. 1,562. Another fireball spell. 8,579. Critical hit. The boss was gone just like that. It was only distracted for a moment, and the next thing it knew, it had completely left this world. With the godly equipment in hand, Mike could already kill exotic beasts of this level at will. It was too easy, and he wasn't taking this seriously at all. Finally, the last of the experience rewards flashed. Obtained, Doppelganger skill. Interesting, let's go back and study it. Mike's eyes lit up, and he flashed back to the mountain to study the skill. A group of assassins arrived. They were one of the stealthiest fighters who could easily leave their battlefield full of exotic beast corpses. Holy crap! This is an elite-tier exotic beast. I fought one of these with a group before, and it took 50 people to kill it. This thing died here just like that. One of the assassins was carefully analyzing the situation and was instantly shocked. Chapter 18, Epic Level Achievement. When the other assassins heard about it, they came over to take a look. They had all come into contact with elite-tier exotic beasts before, and their corpses were the real deal. Phew. Someone took a deep breath to calm himself down. An elite exotic beast, which could barely be killed by 50 people besieging it, had died here just like that, with its corpse being severely burned. What on earth happened here? Everyone was shocked. The elite-tier exotic beasts, who killed them? The assassins who had come to scout for information were looking for more clues as more shocking scenes appeared one after another. It wasn't just one elite-tier exotic beast that had died here. A shocking amount of elite-tier exotic beasts had died. One was already jarring enough, but this many. Could it be that they were killed by the boss? An assassin suggested. All of them felt that it made sense. There were so many elite-tier exotic beasts, it would be impossible that this was done by a human. No one was this strong. This would only make sense if this was the result of a conflict between the boss and the elite-tier exotic beasts. It must be because of the boss, as a human could never do this. The assassin's expression was solemn. So many elite-tier exotic beasts died tragically. The boss is probably more powerful than we thought. Even with 200 people, we might not even be enough to be its opponent. We might need to advise Burton to give up on fighting the boss. After all, It doesn't look like we can fight it no matter how we look at it. They looked at the corpses all over the ground, and their hearts trembled. It was hard to imagine how terrifying an existence it was to kill so many elite-tier exotic beasts. Forget about 200 people, could 2,000 people defeat it? Wait. Just as they were about to send a message to Burton, one of the assassins made a new discovery. At first, he wasn't sure, but after carefully identifying it, he couldn't help but cry out. What's wrong? What happened? The other assassins surrounded them. Look. Look. This corpse. Doesn't it look like the boss we ambushed? Everyone was suddenly horrified, their hair stood on end. Was this for real? Could the boss they had imagined slaughtering all these elite exotic beasts had also died here? That was impossible. Who could have done such a thing? Everyone carefully examined it for a while, shock running through them. They were all feeling the same thing, and were only waiting for someone to point it out. It seems. It's indeed the boss. No one objected. Only the sounds of breathing could be heard. It was no longer a situation that shocked them, but a situation that had already exceeded the limits of their knowledge and imagination, bringing them to experience the high-level world. Quick! Tell Burton about this. I'm afraid that there's great danger around here. In the private channel, the messages from the assassins were a mess. Burton was confused. The elite exotic beasts were killed. And it was a group of them. Who did it? The boss did it. The boss and the elite exotic beasts killed each other. Burton tried to absorb the information. No. But his guess was wrong, and Burton was even more puzzled. He continued to ask. Until the boss that we ambushed was also dead. The private channel went silent. If the situation was not described in words but through speech, Burton would definitely doubt what he was hearing. This was too exaggerated, right? Burton finally understood why the assassins were so flustered and incoherent, because at this moment, Burton himself felt the same way. The boss, which they were confident they could bring down only after they had brought more than 200 people, had died just like that. With countless elite exotic beasts dying alongside it. Even if thousands of people were to work together, could they have reached such an extent? Burton could not imagine what the boss and the group of elite exotic beasts had gone through. There can't be other monsters around here, right? Burton nervously swallowed. They were thinking of exotic beasts that were even more powerful than the boss. Could there be more extremely terrifying exotic beasts lurking around? Boss. Someone called Burton. Look at the system message. Burton was stunned. He hurriedly opened the chat interface. Mike's epic achievement, the first in the entire server to kill 100 elite exotic beasts. Burton, who had killed elite exotic beasts before, knew very well how difficult it was to kill an elite exotic beast. As for Mike, he had hunted and killed over 100. Then he thought of the corpses of elite beasts that the assassins had found all over the place. Could it be that Mike is that monster? I always thought that Mike was only an expert in the research field, but it turns out that he's an expert in all aspects. It must be him. Expert Mike, the one person who has the combat strength equivalent to that of several thousand people. Burton's party was in a state of shock. The world channel erupted. Just like Burton's army, everyone thought that Mike had only dominated the field of research, that he could develop consumables with various effects. Only now did they realize that he was also an epic boss in combat. Everyone was still in the beginning stages of the game, and countless people were only just starting out. And here Mike had already killed over 100 elite exotic beasts. The number of parties that had killed a single elite exotic beast could be counted with both hands. As for him, 100. It is now that I only understand how much of Big Boss Mike is. Big Boss. Wouldn't it be an understatement to call him a god? He's terrifying. No wonder he can get raw meat on the shelves. I thought it was a coincidence that he developed the recipe. Hee, I'm really a fool. Does God Mike still need underlings? On Trudio's side, his party was still trying to find ways to cause trouble for Mike. After all, there was history between the two sides, even though some of them were caused by Trudio's side. That didn't stop Trudio and the others from hating Mike. I don't believe that we won't be able to find the recipe for that piece of raw meat. Damn Mike, if only you didn't sell such good raw meat and targeted us, we wouldn't have to take revenge. Trudio was very unwilling to let this matter go. Suddenly, the World Channel became very lively. Trudio followed up with the latest news to understand the situation, and very quickly, he fell into a state of shock. This? How is this possible? The moment he saw the system message, Trudio felt a chill run down his spine. So, Mike was at such a level of existence. And he had actually been trying to find fault with this kind of a person. From the looks of it, blacklisting them was already an act of mercy towards Trudio and the others. If Mike was really determined to go after them, Trudio's party would be wiped out dozens of times over. Trudio suddenly woke up from his shock. He hurriedly opened his army's private channel. Everyone, from now on, you're not allowed to look for trouble with Mike anymore. Cursing him is also not allowed. Trudio was suddenly more knowledgeable about surviving in the face of true despair. In the forest, the Overlord tier exotic beast was wandering around. It wanted to find the person who broke its egg and take revenge. But it did not wait for revenge. Instead, it waited until its subordinates were killed. The Overlord exotic beast approached the corpses of the boss and the elite exotic beast to observe. As an Overlord tier exotic beast, it was more perceptive to danger. Very quickly, it sniffed out the scent of the dangerous person. Its instincts reminded itself that the person who killed the boss could also kill it. Roar! The Overlord exotic beast fled back to the forest and growled towards the ground. A pentagram appeared on the ground and a black-robed human figure rose from it. What's the matter? The black-robed man spoke. Roar! The Overlord exotic beast growled humbly. There's an enemy you can't handle. A human of this level has already been born on Earth. The black-robed man was very surprised. We're still unable to rush back to Earth yet. I can help you stimulate your potential, but you can only live for a few days. Are you willing to take that chance? If not, we'll naturally help you take revenge once we get back to Earth. Roar! The Overlord exotic beast growled. All right, I'll help you stimulate your potential. Go kill that human. The black-robed man extended his hand. Within the magic array, Mike was researching his skills.